Today, we're going to be taking a look at the calendar section inside the Systems Accelerator Manager. And I like to say that this is kind of the heart of your daily operational processes. So, kind of a best practice would be to always look at this each and every day. Now, inside the calendar section, this is going to be where all of the activities from our different routines are stored. So, we're able to see exactly what we've got going out, whether it's automatically, which means Sam's going to be handling it for us. And all we need to do is really take note of that. Or if it's a manual, because we use the objective section like we did in that routine the other day, then we're actually going to have to do something about that. So I've got two different things to show you guys inside the calendar section. You're going to see exactly what I mean, but let's go ahead and dive into it. All right, so inside of SAM on the left-hand side, we're going to navigate to the calendar section. From here, you're going to be able to see the two different activities that we have. And I've actually built it out this way so you can understand the difference between a manual and an automatic one, even though we had checked selected for automatic, right? So the very first one you're going to look at is this new lead welcome. Now, currently, I have these sized so that they're a little bit more manageable. So a fun little note, if for some reason you left it at 60 minutes and it's just a little bit difficult to look at, what you can do on this top right-hand side, you can go to time interval and you can adjust the interval of time in which it's being displayed. So that's really neat. Now, speaking of looking at things and how they're displayed, you can also look at today, day, week, month. You can look at schedule, timeline, and then it's worth noting right above that, you're going to see my name. Well, currently, as a trialer, you only have the single team member inside your account. But when you upgrade and subscribe to SAM, you're going to have access to all of your different team members' calendars. So the really cool thing is now you can look at each and every person's schedule and kind of understand where there are holes or gaps that you can either get together, or you can just, generally speaking, see what they're up to that day. Now, like I said earlier, we have different activities based on how Sam is going to be helping us. So let's go ahead and click into this new lead welcome. And you're going to see that this activity is going to be run automatically by Sam. So we don't necessarily need to worry about that. When it's time for it to run, Sam will just run it for us, which is awesome, right? But if you wanted, you could on this upper left-hand side, click this little box, and then you can see how many times it's been run. Now, if you wanted, you could manually run this ahead of time and it would go ahead and send it out, right? But for now, we don't necessarily need to. Now, the other thing you could do, if you don't actually need to run this, after all, you could skip it, right? But currently, this has 0 runs. That means Sam hasn't gotten to it yet because it's not time for it to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this, but this gives you an understanding of how Sam is going to be able to run these automatically for us. Now, clicking outside of it, we have this post call follow-up. Now, this is the one that Sam is using an objective to create. So clicking inside of it, we're going to be able to go to the top left-hand side again and see. Now, I have tested this a couple times, so you will notice that it has been run. So when it is set to be run like this, it's going to do one of two things. Either A, we click in here, we click the run, and it creates it, or because we do have it selected for automatic, what that means is when it's time, Sam will actually generate the message and send it to our outbox. And then we have to go and manually review that. We'll dive into the outbox tomorrow, but I do want you to understand that because it was selected for automatic, that means that it will get run by Sam, even though it is manual, but we're still going to have to preview it. But what we're able to do now, we can go ahead and close. And so now we've got an activity that is going to be run by Sam automatically. And then we have an activity that could be run manually by us, or Sam will run it and then it gets sent to the outbox for us to complete at the very end. Now, the other things that we can do inside of our calendar section is we could always send things later if we needed to move them. We can absolutely move them. We can also make sure that if something has multiple actions inside of one activity, that we're able to select the specific ones we want to run. Now, in this example, we only had one action for each of those, but inside of that left-hand check mark box, you could always click into that and select the specific ones we want to run, and then we can run those. So maybe an example for another time, but that is how you use the calendar section. Like I said, go ahead and just generally live in the calendar box, and you're going to be able to observe, monitor, and see how all of the different routine activities are getting added to your calendar. They're getting run by Sam automatically, or they're getting built out and sent to the outbox so that you can proofread them before sending them out. So outside of that, I will see you tomorrow, and we're going to dive into the outbox and really understand how the entire communication matrix comes full circle. I'll see you there.